God says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha. O people, we have created you from male and female. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا. And we made you into nations and tribes so that you may get to know one another. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. And verily the most superior of you in the sight of God is the one who is most God conscious. This particular verse gives us a beautiful example of the celebration of diversity, that God was very intentional, as he is with everything, about how he created us. And we are created with this richness of different tribes and different races and different languages, because that is a sign of God himself. God says in the Quran as well, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ اخْتِلَافُ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَأَلْوَانِكُمْ, that from his signs is that you have this difference in your races and in your languages. And that is a sign for people who reflect, people of knowledge. What this shows you is that you are inherently enriched when you get to know your brother or sister that comes from a different background. You see that as a sign of God, just as you see the signs of God in the various colors and shades of the other forms of creation, the trees, the mountains, the rivers, the beauty of all of that diversity. You see that as well in the human race. And it's very interesting that when God says لِتَعَارَفُوا, لِتَعَارَفُوا is to get to know one another intimately, that you actually seek to understand one another, that you actively seek to experience one another. And the more you experience one another, the more that you appreciate God himself and the more that you appreciate the richness of that diversity. The beauty of the worship of Islam is that it then forces all of these people to come together in an organic way. And this builds upon this idea of one humanity. Every act of worship breaks down the necessary barriers between human beings to experience the best of that diversity. What do I mean by that? When you think about prayer, when we pray, when you walk into any mosque, the person that is praying next to you could be from any country, could be from any background. And there is no way for you to designate who's going to pray next to you. And this was something that was embedded in the message of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, that when the rich or the poor walk in, when someone from a powerful tribe and someone from no tribe walks into the mosque, you pray next to each other, all saying, Allahu Akbar, God is greater. And then when you break your fast together in the month of Ramadan, you get to experience the beauty of the diversity of food and culture, but the person that's going to break fast with you could be from somewhere entirely different. And then, of course, the Hajj, when you go to the pilgrimage, everyone being dressed the same, everyone doing the same ritual, you experience the beauty of diversity. But that beauty of diversity does not take away from the beauty of your humanity, your one common humanity. And when it comes to charity, when it comes to our zakah, we give charity to those that are most in need. We do not discriminate when we give charity based upon race or based upon any type of tribe or anything else that is an artificial or superficial barrier within mankind. So all of this gives us the opportunity to experience one another, to benefit from one another, to see that God has given us an opportunity to be enriched through one another. And if we experience each other at that level, then we experience the purpose of life and the meaning of why God has put us here in the first place in such a profound way.